Now EVs have been making a lot of noise in the Indian market, and we already know that Tata Motors is the biggest EV passenger vehicle manufacturer. They already have existing products that are sold. We've seen their Gen 2 product, the Curve, and what we see today is perhaps the most radical vehicle that Tata has ever produced. This is of course a concept, but the Avinya also highlights a lot of future direction for Tata Motors. For instance, to start with, this, you see the LED daytime running lights, this is the new Tata logo that you shall start seeing on new cars sometime soon. But it's also a very radical concept because the design is somewhere between a hatchback and a crossover and a shooting brake, but I have to say it looks rather attractive. What highlights the design? Well, of course, you see the extreme sills, you see the 22-inch wheels, you see that front end, and what you don't realize is that it looks rather large, but it's actually only 4.3 meters in length, which is about as big as a mid-size SUV that you see in India. But what happens with a custom-made skateboard platform, which is basically said that it's made only for EVs with the battery sandwiched under the floor and the wheels at each end, is that it maximizes interior space. You also get a very radical rear end. You get this shooting brake style rear, the passenger shelf, you get this huge tail light, again the new Tata logo, the T here, the Avinya badging, and it's certainly a very eye-catching design. How much of this will make into production, we don't know, but Tata engineers, Tata folks say that a lot of these SKUs will be carried over into the product once it hits Indian market in 2025. Being a Gen 3 platform also allows it to give you a lot of range, so you can expect more power. The possibility is also there to give you front or rear or all-wheel drive. All those possibilities exist. Exactly what will make it to the market, we don't know, but we'll know soon enough as the nears production. What we do know is that on a single charge, you will be able to drive it for over 500 kilometers, which should address range anxiety for most people. But the interior also is a very nice touch. It has suicide doors, which will certainly not make it into production. But let's have a look at how the interior is and how that's been designed to show you the new Tata design philosophy. First thing that strikes you about the interiors of the Avinya is the fact that there's a lot of space. Like I said, it's only 4.3 meters in length, but what happens is when you shift the wheels to the corners, it gives you a lot of wheelbase, it gives you a lot of room inside the interior. So it's roomy, it's spacious, and the second thing you'll notice most of all is the lack of big screens. Now, big touch screens, massive touch screens are the flavor of the season, but Tata is going a different way. They say in 2025, we are more likely to use voice-based commands rather than big touch screens. So in the Avinya, there is a very small screen that's mounted on the steering wheel. Other than that, you see a wide open space that's designed for maximum comfort. It'll have all the connectivity options. You get these directional speakers that also pick up your voice, and you get individual climate controls on the doors itself. So I think it's a very interesting concept. It's an interesting take on what the future of motoring could look like when it's electrically powered, when you have a lot of space on the interiors. Now, once again, this is all a concept. In a few years' time, we'll see the production version, but it is a very interesting take on things, and I think there's a lot of promise coming from the Tata Motors Pavilion as far as EVs and future products are concerned.